January 7th, 2026. We're in a new year. Just got up here. It's a little bit before 7. And I brought up a whole bunch of stuff up here. I'll tell you. I got to finish cleaning this cabin. That's number 1 or 2 or 12, whatever. Throw that over there. All right. Yes. Pretty warm up here today. It's in the 50s already. So what we're going to do today is I got a new bar and some chains for my chainsaw. So it's going to be nice today. We're going to cut some lumber for the bed, for the new table, and for a couple other things. Hopefully I'll get the new the piece out for the mantle here. And then I'll take this, screw it onto the bottom of the bed. Okay. But before all that happens, I have a bed to clean up. It's full of junk. So, I got the stuff I brought up today to, here, let me show you. Brought up some wood. It's a little molding here that we're going to use for the windows. I'll put that right there for right now. I got a big old bag of stuff here. Let me show you all what I got. New bar for the chainsaw. I have, now all this is not going to be done today. I have some foam window seal and door seal there. So we're going to seal up the doors and do the windows at some point in time. Brought up silicone and a silicone gun. That is also for the windows. So we will probably be working on the windows later today. What else we got in here? Oh, we got a whole slew of stuff. All right. So we have not one, but 2 new chains for the chainsaw, just in case. New files because I broke the other ones. Another can of spray foam. We're going to use that on the thing. Finishing nails for the windows. I got locks for the windows. And then I have big hinges for the big window, little hinges for the little window so I can open them up. All right. That's for that. Put that over there. And then, to help putting the seals up, hi-yah! Staple gun. That's going up here somewhere. Okay, we'll just put it right there. Then, what else I got in my little haversack here? Monster for morning energy. And that is about the size of it. So, I got a lot of stuff to do. Part of it's going to be cutting this foam down today after I get done with the wood, with the boards. Which means I have to take about half this stack of wood that I have here and move it out of the way from the back door. Because I've also got to put the seal on, but that's where I'm going to shove the boards in. Which means my 2 big old trash bags over here got to go outside. The other bag here, I've actually got to take it down and get sawdust when I get done with the boards. What else we got in here? The tent poles that I was talking about throwing away at one point in time. If you remember, I'm going to take about 2 or 3 of those and cut them down depending on how long they are. Like maybe 2 will work. 2 should work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some wire or some, maybe a clothes hanger, and I'm going to stick one on the front of the 4-wheeler and tie it on. Then I'm going to tape it so it doesn't move. And then put the other one on top of it and tape it. So it's got like a little stand up right in the middle on the front of the 4-wheeler. Now what that does is when I come up here, when it's warm like this, because I hit one today, you drive it up through there, up the trail and stuff, these spiders like to spin webs across the trees. And I caught a spider web right in my face. And what this does is it takes and wraps a spider web around it so it doesn't come up in your face. And it's about, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet in front of your face. So it snags that spider web, and you ain't got to worry about getting a spider right in your nose. So, other than that, walking up the trail today, I put out a bunch of like cereal that was already gone bad, like toasted oats and corn flakes. And I took a bag of used up raisins, and I spread that down on the corn pile down there. Now, a couple of deer have been down in there eating on that in the last couple of days that I haven't been up here. I also took the rest of those nasty canned goods, opened them up, threw them down there. Most of that pile is gone, which means the bear are still around. So, I got my work cut out for me today. So, one of the first things first, I got this area pretty well devoid of foam. So I think the first order of business is clearing that bed off and getting all the dirt and stuff swept off the bed from me mudding around and stuff. There's still a bunch on the bed. So we're going to pull all this off and get it situated. When I get the boards for the bed done, this shelf is coming down. I'm going to cut it, put it up, screw it underneath the bed. I've got to make a little box out here in the front. And I'll have to have a small piece of tree. And I'm going to box it up like I did over there, but I'm just going to have a brand new box that will come out about, about a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet. That will make the bed 6.5 to 7 foot long, 5 foot wide. So when you're laying in the bed, your feet don't drop over, whatever. I have a futon mattress coming for this. So we're going to have a futon mattress up here. This, my bedding that I left up here, I've got it drying. I got the little piece of tarp down here. I'm going to fold all this up, fold the tarp around it, stick it under the bed so it doesn't get wet or damaged or anything like that. And then when I get all the ceiling, the rest of it, all the little drips and drops and stuff, and I get the futon mattress, this will go on top of the futon mattress. And then the tarp is going to go out front, where I was talking about put a part of the wood pile out front. That way, in the wintertime, I just open up the front door, load in a shit ton of wood, and leave this stuff on here to dry. So I'm going to try and put most of my wet wood up there. The wood over here is fairly dry. It's warm enough today that I'm not going to have a fire. I can make one if I need to. A lot of the tools that I have up here, if I'm not going to use them, I'm going to go through and see what I need. We're going to take care of all that. All these little holes from everything sloughing off, that's going to be addressed today or tomorrow. So I will come up here and I might have to make up another bucket of real thick mud and finish stuffing that all in. I've got a bucket kind of started. So, next few days I have a bunch of work to do. Friday I got to go to Charleston in the morning for a doctor's appointment. Then I will be back all weekend. I will be up here. Sometime next week it's supposed to kind of snow. That's why I want to get all that lumber cut. At least get all that cut today. Get it in here. That way, when I'm ready to, I can box out this bed, put the lumber down. The other 2 or 3 boards that I'm going to have in here, I've got to drill out on the log, go out and find some branches that are pretty straight and about yay big around. Whittle them down, punch them into holes, right? That'll hold my table up. In fact, it'll hold quite a bit of weight. So, just like this one. Now, this one here is kind of at a lean. I just put it there to hold stuff. And what I'm going to do is, the side towards the little door. I'm going to cut that off and probably move it in just a little bit. That when I cut that big thick plank that's going to go right here, that's my mantle. So we're going to have that all done. I want to get this kind of weather tight for the next snow, because the next snow they're talking about could be pretty significant. So we're going to get all this stuff done the next couple of days. I want the windows to where you could open them up and pop them down, or they just open up, such as the big window. Instead of having it open up, I'm going to just have it open to the side. This little one, I'm going to have it open up. So we got gas and oil for the chainsaw up here, because I just bought a new jug of bar oil. I made up 2 gallons of gas. So that's going to go out with the chainsaw as soon as I change the bar and the chain, which will happen very shortly. And everything seems to be drying up rather well in here, since we've had a couple of 50-degree days and I haven't been up in here. I will have this open to the air, so it'll dry up even more where these places have sloughed off. It's no biggie. I just jammed mud in there. No biggie. It should be still kind of damp. I may get after that today. But what we have for trash, I'll make up one big bag, tie it off, take it down to the hill to the trash bin today. What else we got? Got an 18-pack of beer in there for later today. Stay up here, get right. Brought my rifle up because the bear are still out. Right now it is only small game hunting, but if a bear comes around and is after me or tries to mess with me or whatever, I have a legal right to defend myself and shoot it, kill it. I really don't want to. There's a ton of bear around here. I didn't get any on my bear tags this last year, which kind of sucks because there's a lot of bear around. But that kind of gives me more choice for next year. What else we got going on? Oh, ladder. As soon as I get all the stuff off the ceiling, that's going to go outside. Get it out of my hair and get it out of here. I don't need it in here anymore, except for just cutting the foam down off the ceiling. So anyways, I'm going to pack up the stove and at least get it put somewhere out of the way, probably on top of the cooler for a little bit. And as soon as I get all the little leaks and stuff out, I'm going to hang up my West Virginia man cave flag back up, and I'm going to hang it up here. And that's wet, so it's leaking up there. So, but we're going to hang it up in here on the top and kind of drape it down the sides. I'm just going to staple it up here. So it's my little man cave thing. Or I'll put it up on the side like I had the last time. Doesn't matter to me. But my little man cave is coming together. We're almost done. Besides cutting those logs today, I have logs to split. I have logs to carry up here, so I can go ahead and cut them into logs where I can split them. That may happen all today. I might just be on the chainsaw for most of the day, which is fine. Which is all right. It's good. And then come up tomorrow and start doing the little nicky-nack shit, tearing the windows apart. Get that all done. I'm probably going to have some more molding, because of the way this is 2 8-foot sticks. So, and I don't think I have enough to do both windows. I have enough to do probably that window there, maybe. Might be. I might get it framed, right? But I'll have to get 2 more sticks, because then I have to frame the inside And then I have to make the little frame where it's going to fit in. And on the where it faces outside, okay, this is the window jamb. The window's out here. There's going to be an inside frame, right? And I'll put some window foam around there, which is pretty thick. And we will, when the window comes down, it'll hit that foam, no airflow, all that good stuff. The silicone is for when I make the little frames. I'll silicone around the edge, slap the window on there, put the next frame. Well, I'll put a little bit of silicone around that, slap the next one, let it sit for a little while, and then I've got these finishing nails, which I can nail it all together. Besides having the little 45s that I'm going to put in there and you nail them together, these finishing nails will also shrink up that gap between the window and the two frames that I'm going to make up. So we'll have all the windows sealed, so no airflow there. When I was up here the other day looking at the door on the bottom, there's a nice little gap about like this, and probably about this long. So we're going to take some of this slough off mud or make up a bucket, and I've got to mud the bottom part of that door to get that taken care of. I bought enough of this. The foam is actually for a camper, but what I can do is double it up, and I'll staple that up and make sure that the door, both doors, when it comes up to it, it'll seal around the door. If I need to do any more work on there, I have the spray foam to spray up in there and then cut it real even so there will be no air gap on either this or that. Other than that, I brought up a bunch of work is what I did, but it's all little finish work. For the most part, this cabin is done until next spring. And when springtime happens, I will be chinking this thing. Get the outside chinked. Plus, it'll be a good time in the spring to go ahead and cut all the wood that I need, or I think I'm going to need through the next winter, or even winter and summer. Put like 4 or 5 cords of wood up, which is a lot of wood, and get that drying. And then I'm going to make a deck out back here. So that's in a future edition of This Old Cabin. So yeah, we got all kinds of plans for today, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day after that, and next day after that. And when I get this all put together in here and get all the boards, that's going to be the last thing, is to brush off all the boards with my trusty dusty brush here. And then we can kind of smooth the walls out, and then I can take a rag with a bucket of water and wash down all the logs. So you can see the logs, then it's got mud, logs, mud, logs, mud. And let this thing just totally dry out. I may have to make up a little bucket of mud to just kind of fill in the little pinhole gaps and stuff, which is nothing. I'll just make it real thick and so we'll get that all done. But today, on tap, it's a nice day, not gonna rain. So I got logs to make lumber out of. And we will get that done. Then at tomorrow's time frame or whatever, we'll address the windows, get them all finished up, put up. What else we need? But for right now, I got to clean off the bed, get everything off of it, and I'm going to try and put it up underneath. Now, when I'm sweeping all the mud and stuff off, it may go down underneath, but what I can do is after I put the new boards down, right, get up underneath there and sweep everything up and make little cubby holes for things that's going to go, like the water jugs will go in a line over here, and then the cooler will go over here. And at some point in time this next year, or maybe even this winter, I'm going to cut a hole in the floor. I'm going to make like a little trap door, right? And I'm going to have 1 or 2 coolers down there so when we bring up meat or stuff that we're going to cook up here, I have coolers and it's in a nice cool place, which is down here by the dirt, right? I'll just make a box down there, right? Make the trapdoor, but I'll make a box that'll fit in there. Slide it down so the trapdoor closes over it, and have 1 or 2 coolers, or just a bunch of thick styrofoam. Just make my own little cooler that has a lid on it, right? Kind of put the styrofoam on the top. If I'm going to do it that way, put styrofoam on the drop door. That way when you drop it, it closes it all up, keeps everything cool. That's an idea I have for later on. But right now, that is not on tap. That's not even on my radar for right now. We are going to split and get lumber today. And we're going to try not to shoot a bear, but if one comes up, it comes up. No biggie. It's getting light out there. Not light enough, but it's getting light out there. So I got to get going. I got to change the bar and the chain on the chainsaw, get it ready to go, grab up everything that I need to go over there and start splitting logs. And the way I don't have a mill, this is all just by looking. I mean, if I get boards that are just kind of a little bit up or down from each other, I don't care. It's not professional. This is all of this has been done. There's been no skill saw used in this. It has all been chainsaw. And it's all been by my little eyeballs where I can sight it in. So hopefully on the one log I get about 8 boards. I got another one just next to it that's not as big, but it's got a lot of knots in it. And it's about, I don't know, maybe 10 inches, 11 inches wide. Instead of the other one is 14. So if it's 10 or 11, I can cut at least 3 boards out of that. And we have a table. Or if I have more than enough over here, which I probably won't, because if I get 8 boards out of that and I cut the other one, I might have 2 of the big boards over here for the table. And then the little one, I'll cut as many boards as I can get out of it to box this off. That's what I'm thinking. So, and the reason why I want to box it off and put extra boards on there is so it doesn't stress down. But this is also going to go in the middle to help stiffen it up. So if you jump on the bed, you can jump on the bed. So, anyways, let me get my day started. I will talk to you all later today. We will see how far we can get done on this old cabin. See you guys in a little bit, okay? I'm just here, and I'm happy. It's a Wednesday. Hump day. See ya.